Hey everybody, Matt Brown here. Just want to take a minute to show you my website, needbugsnow.com. This is an article I wrote today, May 5th, 2015. It's called Metal Detector Treasure Hunt in Louisiana. It says two girls were in their last year of high school and wanted to spend their summer doing some treasure hunting. Mandy was blonde haired and athletic, and Missy had long brown hair and kept to herself. They set out looking for buried treasure in Louisiana with their metal detectors, but did not realize how deep into things that they would get. They were about to begin an awesome adventure that they would never forget. Off the coast of Louisiana is Marsh Island, a popular island for fishing. It is a swampy island, much like the bayous that they would start exploring later. They took a rental boat out to the island and began working the shores, at first looking for modern treasure. Mandy moved east on the southern shore while moving her metal detector back and forth. Glancing toward the water, Mandy saw what appeared to be an old log moving slowly as she began to dig in the sand. She just had to see what her metal detector was picking up. She remembered what her father had told her about the alligators. If she saw one, she should give the reptile a wide berth and keep away from the edge of the water. She quickly got to her treasure that was just an old broken gold bracelet, but would be worth some decent money for scrap. She then moved inland and away from the gator for a little while until she saw it swimming downstream. She would have to keep an eye open for more alligators, but they usually stayed near the water. She continued searching with her metal detector, and her next find was found a little while later. There were still some old quarters that were only buried a couple inches under the ground and had apparently fallen out of someone's pocket a long time ago. Missy headed more inland into the swampy area, following a trail of gun wrappers and debris, hoping to find something more than tin cans. Her first find was a piece of metal with a raised portrait of an old woman. She did not rightly know if this was going to be worth anything or not, but she decided to put it into her bag anyway, as she really liked it. Continuing down the path, Missy had another hit with her metal detector and only had to dig through a few inches of muck to find some old change of dimes and quarters from the early 1900s. The two continued searching throughout the day and found a little more lost change along the way. They decided to head back to the coast to start working the beaches. Both of them kept using their metal detector while walking along the shores of the swamp and hoping to find more lost treasures. As they walked, all of a sudden they could see an alligator about 50 feet away from them, and it started hissing at both of them. Both of them quickly fled inland as they just wanted to get away from it, but soon found themselves deeper in the huge bayou and they had gotten separated. They could both still hear each other to an extent while yelling and said they would meet each other back at the car soon. They decided to keep looking for gold and Cajun treasure for a little while and were apparently unconcerned that they were getting deeper in the swamp. Mandy began working her metal detector around an old shack. Perhaps she would find some old coins from Cajun who had lived there. The floor was bad and falling apart as she inched around the shack. A few old coins set off the metal detector, as did some jewelry in which had been an old chest. This should be valuable. Meanwhile, Missy searched under an old makeshift bridge, as it would be a place where she might expect to find something. Missy watched some snakes crawling along two down tree trunks and was glad that they were well away from here and started wanting to get out of the area. Still, after digging for a while under the bridge, she was rewarded with both gold and silver pieces from the 1800s. So delighted she was that she paid little attention to the time. Mandy was still out there, and Missy did not yet know if she could find her way back, though Missy was sure that she knew the way back. She started back after thoroughly checking the area. She tried calling Mandy on her phone, but it was still not working, and Missy wondered why. As Mandy dug around an old tree stump, she took out her phone, only to find that the battery was too low and it had started to get dark. She had forgotten to charge it before leaving and had no desire to be lost in the bayou at night. She started back and was frightened. Mosquitoes began biting her neck and arms. Then she saw then she saw a shadowy figure standing in her way, but he only said, "Follow me out of here." But to read the rest of this article, just go to needbucksnow.com. To get my newest articles and reviews, just put your email address right here and get started today. Thank you. Bye.